Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jadine, and on today's video, I'll be giving you 5 red flags you don't want to ignore when you're dating, so stay tuned. So number 1 is you never want to ignore a disrespectful man. Yes, disrespect is never acceptable. It doesn't matter if it's you or anyone else. If you're dating a guy and he is disrespectful, you need to run. That's a major red flag. You need to say bye-bye to that person, especially if you went out with him on a date or wherever you guys went and he's rude to other people. He's rude to the waitress. The waitress messed up the order and he was like so disrespectful to the waitress. That's a major red flag, because that's telling you that that person feels as if they're superior and they're gonna just talk down to anyone or disrespect anyone. You don't need a person like that, because if a person could disrespect anyone, a stranger, they'll certainly disrespect you. So please, if you're dating someone and he disrespects you in any manner, talks down to you, belittles you, even if he does it in a joking way, you need to run. That's a major red flag, and you do not want to ignore a disrespectful man. So number 2 is he makes promises he knows he won't be able to fulfill. If he promises you he's gonna take you out on a date, he's gonna take you somewhere, or if you asked him for a favor and he promised you he was gonna do that, and he pulls a disappearing act on you, didn't bother to call you, didn't bother to text you to say, hey, I won't be able to make it, that's a major red flag, and you do not want to ignore that. He shows up 2-3 days later with a sorry excuse, talking about, oh, he got busy at work, or he had an emergency that came up, or he had a trip that he had to go on. Just don't buy that. It's all lies. It's just a way of throwing you off. So please do not ignore that red flag. If a person promises to do something for you or to take you somewhere or anything at all and he doesn't fulfill, that is a red flag you do not want to ignore so early in a dating relationship, because it's gonna carry on into your relationship. And please believe, if you see this, you don't need to blow it off. Oh, I'll give him another chance. No, you need to cut it off the moment he does that, because that's a person that it will not honor his promises when he makes it. So please follow your gut, follow your intuition, follow the discernment that you have. When your gut tells you something is off, please listen to your gut feeling, that intuition that you have that told you that something is off. Something is definitely off. That's a major red flag you don't need to ignore. So number 3 is he doesn't have anything going on in his life. And what do I mean by this? He doesn't have any goals, no aspiration. He doesn't have motivation. He probably doesn't have a job. That's a major red flag. A man needs to be a provider. It's his job to be a provider. Yes, you're gonna have your own things, like I spoke about in how to be a powerful woman. Yes, you're gonna have your own things, but a man needs to be a provider. If he doesn't have motivation, goals, and he's going nowhere in life, how is he gonna provide for you? And please do not marry a person that has shown you signs that he is not a provider, because I promise you, you will not be happy as a woman. Especially if a man asks you for money, oh, he needs to borrow $100 because his car is in the shop, or whatever silly excuse he has. No, you're not lending him anything. And I know some women gives men passes on this, but I am a firm believer that a man needs to be a provider, and if a man is in a rut or things aren't going good for him at that moment, he does not need to be dating. That's my belief. I don't believe a man should be out there dating. If things aren't going good for you, you're in a rut, you need to focus on building yourself up. You need to focus on your career and being a better person before you try to date someone. I just believe a man should be a provider, and a man should have his own things, and you should not be lending any man any money. If his car broke down or he needs money, he could go ask his mama, his papa, his brother, his sister. Why is he asking you? No, that is not your job, and you do not need to loan him any money. He needs to be a provider. He needs to be in a good state to be dating you, and that's a major red flag. You need to run. Boy, bye. So number 4 is obsessiveness. Yes, ladies. In the beginning, this might seem cute to you, but it's not cute if a guy is obsessive over you. He pops up to your job. He pops up at your house. Oh, I was calling you and you didn't pick up, so I just popped on in to see how you were doing. I didn't pick up for a reason. You think you would want to wait until I pick up my phone before you show up? Anyone that shows up unannounced, that is not a good sign. That's a major red flag, and you don't need to ignore that. Someone pops up to your house unannounced when you're getting ready for bed, you're getting ready to settle in, and this person comes and disrupts your night. No. That is not cute, and that's a major red flag. If this person wants to spend all his time with you, he wants to limit the time you spend with your family, with your friends. He's just wanting to know everything about you, and in an obsessive way. I'm not talking about someone that you've already established a relationship with and you're communicating with that person in a normal way. I'm talking about a person that just obsesses over you, and that is unacceptable. When a person wants to control your every move, be careful, because that's how some women, they get into a relationship, they ignore the red flags that, oh, he's so controlling, and you get into a relationship with him, and that's how now he starts to abuse you. He starts to control your every move, and he just isolates you from your friends, your family, and now he's got you all to himself, and that's not good. So if you see this pattern early on in your dating, that's a red flag, and you do not need to ignore that red flag. So the 5th red flag is not taking accountability. Yes, if this man is always playing the blame game, he is never wrong. It's always someone else's fault. You asked him how his last relationship ended, and he wants to tell you that, oh, she was crazy, she was a maniac. Huh? So you didn't play a part in how your relationship ended? He wants to call that person a maniac and it was all her fault. Yeah, it might sound cute in the beginning and you're like, oh yeah, she was crazy. Yeah, that sounds awful. But you need to see this as a red flag. If this person is not able to be aware of his actions, of the role he played in anything, and you're gonna always be wrong, you do not want to get into a relationship with that person, because you will never win. You will never win. You're always gonna be at fault. If there's an argument, you're gonna be the one reconciling. I spoke about this in my video, the 10 common mistakes. Go watch that video after you finish watching this one. But that's a big red flag when a man cannot take accountability. Please, ladies, it's a huge red flag. You need to run, because a man should be aware of his fault in anything that happened. It's not always someone else's fault. Yes, it may be someone else's fault, but you're never wrong. Please pay attention to that. So those are the 5 red flags. If you like this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.